Alright, I'll start with mids. So, roamer, you usually roll out off of this. I've seen a lot of people wait until they get here, but if you can do the faster rollout, I recommend it. As always, I recommend watching demos if you don't know the faster rollout. But the pocket soldier can hold up and shutter while getting a bow. You can do a slide up here if you want to. But at least the first jump with the faster rollout will be better. You will probably be able to get some early spam right there, which is this. Maybe get some damage on their med. As med, you're going to be getting spammed a lot here by demo. As demo, you spam in the med as much as you can. I think Quickie Bomb Launcher is very good on this map. Especially on mids, I think it's almost necessary. That might sound a bit insane, but I'd say it's kind of the most broken thing about competitive TF2 right now is using the Quickie Bomb Launcher on this mid, because you can stick off this area, and you will pretty much lock the med out of being able to cross up, because the med only has one way to get up, and so if you would like to do that, I think that's a pretty easy way, but a pretty good way to win. And expect them to try and counter that by probably sending more people up. Like, generally, flank scout pressures a bit. That's kind of the mid, is flank scout will pressure here, get like 100 on demo, and then drop down and play ground or something, or try and commit on their side if it's a little free. They probably, if you're just locking them out with quickies, they're gonna send their flank scout more aggressively, or possibly they're even gonna just like send a fast bomb onto you. And if you guys are having troubles with the sticks coming your way on big door, you guys can do the same. Your pocket scout just waits on this, gets up, again your flank scout kind of pressures the demo from there. I'd say it's better to cross on the outside. You're definitely focused on spotting the soldiers here. I already talked about that with mine. As med, you cross over to the left, I'd say. You can't get flanked from drop down, though you should have someone watching drop down still, since if a soldier gets through here uncalled, it's still going to be a disaster for you guys. But it won't be as immediate, and you can't get flanked from elbow, so I think this left side is good. As for soldiers, I think your pocket soldier should do a jump like that, and kind of a high bomb, and then land, like, go high and fade to over here, kind of like land here, and get a bow from your med, who's crossed to this side at that point, and then get a buff, and pretty much once you have the bow, and once you are fully loaded on your rockets, you should send some bomb. And what the rest of your team does at the beginning of the mid, or when you are bombing, I think it kind of determines like what mid you do. But I think for pocket soldier, you kind of do the same thing every time, and you'll be fine. As roamer, you have a few options. You can wait for your pocket soldier and to do that rebomb, and then just bomb from here, and you're kind of just waiting here the whole time, getting spam, watching under. Maybe you can take a slight fight under, just like try and get damage, but you're waiting for that bomb, and so you're declaring that you guys are going to double bomb, and then since you're doing that double bomb and you have like a high bomb from this guy, and that guy can kind of low bomb over this fence, and be unspotted if you wanna kind of hide here, or if you wanna even hide close there and like walk up here or something. You have a lot of options of how to get up there to try and deceive them as roamer. But if you're a pocket soldier who bombs here, double bombing with you, I think support is good, and so you guys should try and walk across. It also kind of depends on what soldiers you have spotted. Your roamer can help with that, especially. But everyone can kind of just call a soldier if they see them, and if you see both soldiers, and you know that walking across would be a problem because it would end up with like your med here, walking across with like your scout pushing, and a soldier just bombing them from under. That would be pretty problematic, and so you can also try doing something where on that high bomb, you're not working off that high bomb as a soldier specifically, you're just trying to do something before it, and then he's waiting a little more on your timing as the roamer. And an example of something you can do is, if you think it'll be unspotted, you can just go straight drop down, and that's part of why the fast rollout is good to know, is because if you're able to just go straight drop down without being seen, this is extremely powerful, especially if your team can call you in on a timing. But doing it repeatedly does get old, or at least it tends to against good teams, and they will just, like, it is a good trade for them to just leave someone here, and then once you come up, they're gonna kill you. You get healed up, and that's a free pick for them. So, if you're doing it repeatedly, it might not work, but drop down is definitely something you guys should do at least once every map. But I think a better way to do it almost is, since you can't really rely on hitting the fast rollout every time, and you can't rely on it not being spotted, since their soldier might also hit a fast rollout or something, you can take a fight under with your roamer and flank scout. And just your flank scout, after doing a bit of pressure on the demo, and drop down and fight the guy under with you wherever he is. And you can kind of run at this guy as a soldier and scout and try and kill him. And if he's far enough back, you can just go drop down fast, and while like your flank scout occupies him. But you can also just, since he's giving you so much space under, you can try and bomb from somewhere they won't expect. Or if he's even out big door, you can just run up elbow. And this is going to be very unexpected, since it's pretty hard for people on this side to see you run up here. And so oftentimes you'll just appear on them. And you'll be trying to coordinate that aggression with your soldier who's bombing from here, right? Your pocket scout can sit here and just kind of look out for soldiers, and then when a walk across comes, you just walk with your demo kind of plays centrally, not playing too much beam, trying to avoid damage as best you can, do as much damage as you can in that same time, kind of basic stuff. And yeah, it kind of depends on what your other soldier is doing, what mid you guys do. But I think usually it will involve coordinating some walk across and aggression with the people up here. You can also, if you guys are fast enough, or if like locking them out with quickies is working well, if you are actually trying that, then I think you can also just send a fast double bomb. And you have your pocket soldier does the same thing where he high bombs, but he actually is landing on their elbow along with your other soldier doing any other kind of bomb, and you're just trying to sink their medic. Or if you're getting at least good damage on their medic, no matter what sticky bomb launcher you're using, you can definitely try and just land on them and kill them. It might not even need to be a double if you're confident in one of your abilities to get the kill on your own. That's something your demo call, is how much damage they're doing to the med on mids. Just look out for feeders. If like your demo's not able to get a lot of damage on their med, it's probably going to be because their scout is like super aggressive or something, and you guys can counter that. You can have your soldier bomb a little faster, and your scout walk up a little faster, and just try and like fight this guy. I recommend ball on this mid in general. You can try and like ball that guy as flank scout. You can also just ball the demo. There's definitely very good angles for a demo rolling out here, not able to see the ball until it hits him, because you can just kind of like throw it here. Yeah, being able to get early damage with the ball is very good. And yeah, Yeah, if there's a guy drop down, you have like your drop down, you spot it there, but your soldier isn't gonna like be able to deal with him or something, then your course of action is either going back and like killing that guy as a team. I mean, you can just tank your scout, and your scout can like fight the choke here. He'll probably win. If you have a soldier on your side, like waiting for the bow or something, then he comes up drop down, you can just get the bow and like just have a soldier go and fight this guy, and with beam, you should win that fight. So, just take a fight that's winning. If he goes like super far behind, don't chase him, just go forward. And you can also just go forward as soon as the guy is called going drop down, since usually you're gonna have that call like as the guy is crossing here. And so you don't actually know if it's gonna come up. He might sit there for a while, and if you have someone like go back for him and then he's not there, or if you just immediately bent way behind, you can waste a bit of your time. And so it can be a good option to just immediately do the walk across and just have like your the bomb walk across everything, and have one of your players just be aware of him. Usually it can just be your medic. You can walk across, your medic is just aware of him, listening for him. If he bombs, your medic can jump to low ground, and you can just try and play around your medic at that point. So, yeah, don't be afraid as medic to drop down sometimes. It's a, you know, it's kind of a bad position, but it's oftentimes the thing they'll expect the least, and it can make you live in a ton of situations. Like, if you drop off and one person comes and chases you who is on you, maybe you're in a worse position for people to get on you at that point, but if it's just one guy, that's also a much easier position for all your team to kill him. And I think that it's good to have some more specific callouts for under. I mean, you just have like red yard and blue yard or whatever. Blue yard and red yard. But you also have like, I think this little area here could be called like a red forwards, blue forwards, or their forwards, our forwards. And then you kind of reserve the drop down call out for people actually in this area. Because if you call someone as like drop down, it can be pretty deceiving to a lot of people. They'll think, oh, someone's like drop down, I'm gonna like check here, when he might just be like in this under area. So it's nice to have a specific call out for that. And yeah, oftentimes a scout like on mid or something, if you were just like holding mid, not on a mid fight, but if you're holding mid and you just send a sack or something, you'll have like your pocket scout sitting here, and you need to spot whether the soldier is like by the forward spawn or by
get on a camp, guys.
And you can call that however you like, just as long as your medic understands it. If someone is to like go drop down to try and sack on you guys on me. Go coast to coast now. So last defense is pretty intricate on this map, but I'll give you guys one version of it. This at last, you have a gun like here. You have a pyro on the gun. Once they have. Before that, you want to try and build as much as you can. But you have a pyro, not really on the gun, but like playing here. If they come through shutter, your pyro reflects them from here. If they come through river, you try and reflect them in the door here. And your medic tanks the pyro. I think you can have a demo water. Demo can have traps on point, can have a trap in water, and can just kind of like lock people out from being able to get through here. If you have a trap in water, there a lot of times they just won't expect that. This is not a play many people do in AM. And so they're going to try and send someone water, and they're just going to explode to your trap. And you can have a variety of traps down here. So you can be creative if they're starting to expect what you do have, so. And you can just, in general, you should be able to lock down this area with pipes and stickies if you need to. And yeah, the point traps are necessary no matter where your demo is. You can also have like a shutter trap if you want to. Instead of like having water trapped, you can have like, or instead of having like point trap, you can have a shutter trap and like a water trap, and then try and like watch for something shutter, because your team out here, your pyro, can call if they go water before they're in shutter, and if they're in shutter, you probably want to debt, and a lot of the times, medics will not be perfect and will drop a player shutter, and this is an like invite that this will happen, that someone will get dropped to a trap shutter. And so if your debt timing is good, this will definitely net you kills in AM. In that time, you have your soldiers elsewhere. You can have one soldier like playing around here, and just this area, and trying not to die when they use in, because if they are chasing your soldier, if they use through shutter or something, it's kind of a waste of their time, and your gun is going to stay up. And if they're not, it means your soldier lives, which is kind of the point. And you can have another one just playing like anywhere. You can like play this back here and get a buff back here, just somewhere where you can deny point. They do try and get onto it. But once your gun goes down, you can probably switch to heavy. Heavy pyro's fine here. Pyro's pretty good. You can air blast people back into water off point, or if it becomes a really scrappy fight in the end, you can just sit on point air blasting people around, and it's pretty hard for people who are getting air blasted everywhere to hit shots. And if it's an explosive class, you can just air blast their projectiles, right? Even Ubersa, you can move the gun up somewhere around here. Your team has some spots, so ask Money about that. But I think at that point you can also still have a pyro. As long as the player is not an NG, has spy checked for the current wave of people who are alive. You want to make sure that they don't have sniper, don't have spy. If they do have spy, you should be fine. Your medic can sit in the corner, which is the normal spy anyway, but you can like really sit in the corner, and you have a pyro who can spy check every once in a while, and you should be fine. Just watch out for them decloaking a demo or something. And if they have a sniper, you can have a pyro just spamming scorch shot flares there, or if the sniper is spotted somewhere else, your pyro can just spam flares there, and make it really hard for the sniper to get anything. Because the only real threat with a sniper is them peeking lower mid. The general pressure they are going to do, and the general pressure you kind of should do, involves someone going water. It's really hard to stop someone from going water entirely. The demo can have traps there and everything, but I should talk about the rest of the decisions. You can have your pocket soldier just playing around here, and your roamer playing around the pipe and just going wherever he's needed. If your pocket soldier has to get like onto ring because someone is in water, which should always happen. When they have a player in water, you need to have a soldier on ring. Your roamer can kind of just fill. Generally, you can just like watch launch pad, pressure from here a bit. If they're peeking shutter, but don't have someone watching launch, you can like collapse on that guy, just kind of poke a little. If they're like getting through a river too hard, you can just like bomb over to there, do a little bit of a nuke. If someone's trying to pressure too aggressively or something, you can deal a bunch of damage to them. Just be useful, don't die. On roam here, you can fight people anywhere if you think it will be good, but you'll learn how to play it. And yeah, I think your pocket soldier going onto rank and letting the rest of your players worry about shutter. Like your pyro can deal with shutter just by air blasting stuff off the gun. Obviously that means that they can't like shoot flares at a sniper or something. But, and that does pose a problem, because you do want your soldier on ring to receive some healing, which means your medic might be peeking the fight line. So if they have a sniper peeking lower main and a player in water, you might want your roamer to try to do something. Like, just go for something. Try like holding lower main close or something to make sure a sniper doesn't peek. Maybe go into water and fight the guy if you need to. Like if your soldier is buffed on ring, it does manage to like get a buff here before jumping to ring. But you want to be on ring pretty fast. You want to prevent them from getting any cap time on point. Then maybe you can go and actually fight the guy in water if you're confident with that. But yeah. When pushing out, you have to be pretty aware of hiders. You have to clear secret, clear water, and then clear everything else. Usually you get through river, you have like your demo and flag scout in lobby. Your demo can have these trapped and just peek out. And from river you can expect a soldier here or something. And as med, make sure not to like be oblivious to that and heal someone in front of you and then die to it. Because the guy can just sit here, and then once someone, like one of their players over there spots you, you can just do this. And if you are standing too close, you will die. So be aware of this guy, be scared of him. Your scout can clear him. There are traps on shutter. And also be aware of cone traps, especially ones that are visible to the demo. Most commonly that one will be trapped. It can go flying around places, but wherever it is, demos like to trap it, so be aware of it. Yeah, but you just clear slowly, get through. This will also be trapped. And you should be able to hold it. Make sure nobody's getting through baby. Once you do take the point, lock them out. Have someone capping, your demo can still be holding baby or something. Just make sure that you never give them a timing. Like you definitely need to have cleared wood, but you never give them a timing to go last that you won't know about it. Like if your demo's walking up here and the traps aren't being watched or something and someone's able to run into last, at this point last caps faster than any other last. And it's gonna be very hard to ever like outcap that guy. And so you just need to make sure he doesn't get there in the first place. Pushing out this last is pretty risky. So, like because even like a spy can outcap a team on second. So you wanna only push out if you're really certain of the call. If you don't have Uber ad, it can be like only if you spot all their players, where do you go? And if you have Uber ad but not player ad, just you have to be careful of people trying to rush behind or people hiding. Like you can stand on like that pipe. I think there's some spot up here or something. Obviously people can hide above choke. There's a spot in the corner over here. So just try and be careful of everything. And yeah. On second disad, you will play river. And your med can be like pretty far back river. And your scout can just be building. Your demo can be sitting shutter, and you can have traps anywhere you want here. You can have the cone trap, point trap. There are traps in rock that are completely invisible, but someone has to walk pretty far back here. This trap is really good. You can trap in this little crevice, and it's completely invisible to someone here. And people don't walk this like this. Okay, they'll walk it like this if they ever want to climb. and someone just doing a normal walk, there's a timing where if you dead right, you're gonna kill anyone who walks over that area. And so that is a very, very deadly trap that I think is not done enough. Even a team who knows about that trap, like now you guys, will die to it if they do not explicitly clear it. Because it's not something you can just like look over a little. You have to, I mean, usually you just have to avoid it. Like the way I walk up here as medic, I don't bother clearing it and then walking over. I just walk such that I won't get hit by it on like the front side of this. And so you can take a bit of note of that. Like if they're walking in that area, you can trap that as demo. Sniper's pretty good, back river.
Stand on the freaking
You will
point,
be able
you
to
moron!
peek at a timing that your team calls, completely unspotted, and catch anybody in this area, anybody climbing. If someone is like around here, they're completely caught. There's no way they can avoid the sniper. And people will often just stand still on cap, so you can get like a full kill. But also you can just like peek here. Yeah. There are a lot of ways to get free picks when they're trying to push into second. You can have like baby trapped also, in case some guy tries to like, fight you there or something. Just pushing out. Evens. Your pocket scout sits up here, your medic like around here. You can have a soldier above choke. And one in choke that your medic is like healing. Your pocket scout can build if necessary. And if their sack fails, you can send a counter sack through drop down. And have your other soldier just get like tank choke. You should have your medic rotate to where they are, like where their combo is. So if their combo's going big door, I think your medic should rotate over here, possibly a soldier as well. And you can just have like one soldier and your pocket scout sitting over here. But generally your flank scout and demo are the only ones over here. That's like a default until they start pressuring. And a lot of what they'll do is try and go behind in lobby. I don't want to repeat myself too much here, and so I'm just gonna say this both. If you are the team trying to sack into their second, if you are unmed trying to sack into their second, think about what I'm saying here as options as well, because they are options, and I'm just gonna cover like the most kind of deadly things they can do. But someone might like get sent baby, or say yeah, just get sent baby to go behind. Traps here are good. You can trap here, you can trap like on the setter itself, you can trap here. There are ways to do deception. If you have really good dead timings, then like up here is never gonna get spotted. That guy's gonna go here, it's gonna see, okay, it's all clear here. He's gonna do this, he's gonna edge it, because he expects traps, and then it's gonna run through. And if your timing is good, it'll explode to that trap above it. But it's a lot easier to just trap the shutter itself and try and catch him when he edges it, or oftentimes in AM I imagine people will just run through and explode. And also just have traps anywhere. You can stand on, by the way. Someone can be up there, so be aware of that. Yeah, once they send a player behind, that player either like goes all the way back, or he doesn't. And it's kind of the flank scout's job to have an idea of what he's doing. You should get a buff at that point, and maybe try and fight him. And you can also have the soldier who's rotating over here try and fight him with you. And you can just locate him, wherever he is, and then fight him. Hopefully take it as a 2v1. They might send, and if you're the player on mid, I think you can consider sending someone else in lobby to help with that, to make what would be a 1v2 for the player behind a 2v2, or possibly even a 2v1 for you guys. Just like send another soldier. And so for re-trapping babies, not the worst idea in the world, but they're probably going to be pressuring you enough here that that's not going to be an option. But you can also trap your own shutter to make sure that the player behind doesn't just like run through on your demo, which is a call that they should be making for that guy to do if you are not fighting him actively, but sometimes you just can't. They can also just, because you have less people on choke, they can send people through, and that person can like just jump to river, and there's nothing you can really do to stop him from going behind as well. And so they can wreak a lot of havoc from these behind positions. I mean, obviously they have high ground over you, so if you try and aggress too much here, they're gonna shoot down on you. They have pretty good fast bombs they can do. They can just run through shutter pretty much unseen. And worst part is they can often just run away. Like if they think it's going poorly for them, they can just get out of lobby like this. Like if someone feeds or something somewhere else and you don't want to lose two players, the player behind can just run back to them. And so be aware of all these things. And try and take favorable fights. Yeah. Don't take 1v1s unless you have more health. Like try and make things 2v1s. No matter which side of the engagement you're on, if you're the defending side or the attacking side. And yeah. As I said, counter-sacking can just be done like one guy goes drop down fast, and if they don't have someone sitting here, like usually the pocket scout will just sit here. If they don't have someone there, then, or like what Banny does is this, but there's a timing when you're just standing here and you can't see it, and I've had it happen that soldiers get through on that timing. So, just like by pure luck, but I think just sitting there is better. Yeah. Not a lot of AM teams, I imagine, will like have someone dedicated sitting here. Maybe you can be pressured out a bit from choke and you can like shoot that, and then you can just send someone onto their med. And obviously from big door you can apply a lot of pressure. If you take this area, you can then just shoot wherever they are, you can shoot them. And also spot how clear drop down is and stuff. And yeah, watch out for them coming drop down if you aren't sending someone drop down. Like if you're trying to pressure mid from here, maybe they have a soldier come up behind you, and if your med is like sitting here, it's gonna be painful. So pushing into mid, I'd say the pop door is just a big door. Teams play choke on this side, and so if you want to pop through, you pop through here. You won't be seen until you're right here, and you can bomb. And you can go pretty deep and still have your team catch you, because you can just take a run up the ramp. It's not actually that long of a distance, and you can like land here and try and catch them out. The only thing you have to be careful of, obviously, is just like someone walking up and fighting you. Fine if you're confident. As I said, do this, where if they bomb their demo super deep, just shot the guy before his team can get to him. That'll give you guys a really good post. So be careful of that, but if your movement is good enough on demo, you should be able to avoid that guy being able to do that, and hopefully get a really fat Uber here. If you don't, it's fine. This is a pretty good point to hold. I'll talk about it. I'd say going down through drop down is pretty niche, but it can be a pretty good way to try, honestly. Because you go down here, and then you just pressure them, like, just with ad this is, trying with a big ad. If it's not huge ad and they might get, this is going to be terrible for you since you're on low ground now, but if it's huge ad, you can always just pop onto them. Your scout can like run up, and although your medic is going to be kind of waddling up here, Ubered, you can catch them with just like a couple flashes, and then the rest of your team getting in on them. And so they do have to be scared of it. And they see you coming drop down, and either they fear you and get out, or they don't and you just pop on them. But I think most of the time you're just going to be going choke. You clear this, you have a soldier like get through, clear traps. There's so many places for traps here, so many places for hiders. someone can just like, there's hiding spots that are just so hard to clear. Like someone can just sit here, and you have to have someone like specifically clear that, since if they're in a good spot, you can completely take this point, have people like get through, get high, you take this, you go forward, and then the only people who are going to spot him are people who actually drop down and look at this. And so that guy can just stay there as long as he wants and get weird off timing. And so be vigilant about all these weird hiding spots as much as you can, and weird trap spots. There are also so many of those. But try and avoid blowing up to them. But traps pretty much any corner here you can imagine. Here, 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 even here. I've seen here. I've seen like there, because people will like try and take it like this, or sit here on cap, and you can just blow them up. Like on point as well.
Stand on the freaking cap.
Like on the side of point, on the front of point. These ones are so deadly since I don't know how, but nobody ever sees them. And so you'll just have 3 people sitting on point. Nobody saw the trap and you all explode. Be careful with all of these. But otherwise it should be fairly simple to drop. Also, you can stand up here. Like you can get up there without anything as scout.
That's what I'm talking about.
And you're just standing up here. This is the most, like, whoever is gonna see this hiding spot. Like you can't be seen from big door really. You're just fine. So just stay here as long as you like, and then you're right behind them. And so you have to clear elbow and clear specifically these fucking things. Also you can see through this great if you don't have like shitty texture effect. Once the person is pressured off the door, like you have your sort of jump through, you're gonna have to fight people here. Your scout busts and whatever. And if they want to debt on these people, like, okay. That's kind of the tough part. But you should be able to pressure the guy off before really having to clear that many traps. Like you just make sure you don't die to something here, have your soldier here. Take damage trades with this person, since there will be people like close choke often. But like they don't have any way to get heals apart from like sitting in this corner and getting a bow. And if they're not like super quick about that, you can like catch them here. And they're just gonna die. You are in front of them and they're... So expect people to play close, but if you take positive damage trades, hopefully your medic doesn't need too much spam. And that's just drying on anything. I don't think it's great to pop through choke, but you can try through there no matter how small your ad is. Because if they aren't close, it's really easy to get through, and if they are close and they do not have yet, even if they're like 90, you can pop through and usually get kills, since it's hard for people to get out here. Especially if they're really close. Like they'll just be like stuck under a roof. But it's also pretty easy for people to live big door, since they just jump there. Not that long of a distance, but as soon as they cross this corner, it's impossible for someone on mid to kill them. Especially if they like hold this down. There's no chasing that's ever gonna happen. Even on this point, as I said, you just have your scout watch this until you're gonna sack and stuff. You have your soldiers choke usually, or you can have like a soldier and a demo here, and then a soldier and a scout down there,
fellas.
and you should be fine. Once you want to pressure, I think you should send like either something with your soldier choke, like you just tank your soldier here, he takes space, clears traps, takes some space, and then a soldier comes up behind him, buffed, and then just bombs through. That's a quick and dirty sack. And you can have like your demo holding big door, trying to pressure from there, but your beam is choke, trying to just like tank the soldier. and your scout just spectating behind it pretty much. And you can like peek a sniper or have your scout actually run through here and send it like a 2-man, like have your roamer jump behind this main soldier again tank. Your scout also can just run through and you appear like really close on them, and then these other people will just not die. That's their job, not die. They can get some rockets, they can peek, see if it's like really good to commit or something, like if their med drops. But otherwise you just don't die, hold this, and you want to hold it as hard as you can so that they can't go drop down without you seeing it, because you're down a scout. But if they do go drop down, you can have like your player big door spot it, but obviously your scout gets with your med, so that guy can spot it too. Your player big door focuses on big door, but a less quick and dirty sack and more of like a prolonged pressure thing is what I mentioned with sending someone behind. So pretty much you just leave one soldier choke, like you just have your pocket soldier here and try not to take damage, trying to maybe deal a bit, but you're mainly just trying to make sure they can't get through here behind your whole team big door. And the reason your whole team is big door is because you are sending people behind. And so you have your scout run behind baby. You can again send your roamer if they try and fight this guy and make it a 2v1, or you can just send both of them behind through baby. And from there it should be pretty obvious what to do. If they're not like locking out Shutter or something and their demo's like playing here still, obviously you try and pressure him, but if you can like bait him into playing here and then just have your scout run through Shutter on him as the rest of your team walks forward big door, you're probably going to get the demo pick without any of you dying. And then at that point you can just walk your combo through and you can be like here, like this deep, your demo, without needing to use if they force, because they're probably like way over there if you are quick enough with this. If their beam is over here, then your guy running onto the demo will probably just be able to get the force with the soldier you have behind as well. And that's your sack. You 2-man, you force the med, and again, you guys can probably live a lot of the time. Like, maybe it's a little harder to scout, like you will maybe be able to jump away, get a bow from your med who's big door, but as a soldier you can just jump to river, get a pack up there after forcing the med, and you are behind them, but you're alive. And staying alive like that is really valuable. It kind of forces them to either, well, it just forces them to leave, since if they're trying to like stay and do some sort of hold, then it's gonna be pretty tough with the guy behind them. I will say there is a hold. If there's not someone behind you, obviously there's a hold you guys can consider. It's kind of unique to this map, and it's even if you're down players or you're down like pretty much any disadvantage you have that is not like dark uber disadvantage, can be countered if you're on your own second by just playing choke, because if you have enough people to hold one door, that is, and you are not an uber disad, you can play choke and you'll probably be fine. Because if you just have like a demo here and a scout, your demo locks this door down, but if they go big door, you're gonna kind of sandwich them as your spawners, and you should be fine. If they go choke, your demo's locking it down, and they will probably just reconsider. They'll say, okay, their demo's hard holding this, let's just go somewhere else. It's if they get through this door that it becomes a problem that you're down players. But if they run far enough big door and they're just like in on second, or getting in on second, you can run your team on the mid and just try and cap there, and then have your spawners stop second, and you'll be just back capping them. And so usually teams will go back, and at that point you can just leave choke again and do the same thing until your spawners are there. And so it's a way you can avoid giving up second for free as often. So, pushing the second. I covered sacks and everything. If you want to try, usually teams will go choke. It can be tough if they have a sniper, either forward spawn or like playing shutter. They can have someone else open for them and just like play super far back and have an angle on the cross. That's all they need to kill their med instantly. So, and also they can have players above, they can have soldiers high bomb, and your scout even here won't be able to see the soldier until he's like that high, because there's this giant high bomb wall. So, as med, it's a good idea to just bait this as much as you can when trying. You should be fine if you do, if you're reacting to the calls that your players are making. If someone lands on you, you can just bait a little harder and like surf out to mid even, and this guy's just gonna be like alone here, and your whole team can just go back and kill him. Sniper can be hard to deal with, but usually you just have someone bomb the shutter, whichever one they're on, and then your demo trap the shutter, whichever one they were on, and you have forwards trapped and a soldier sitting close on it, this guy's not gonna be able to peek you. And same with that shutter, and so you can deal with the sniper there, but he might just get a pick and turn the situation sour, which is my way of encouraging you to go sniper here. I've already told you that sniper's pretty good, like sitting back there and stuff, but it's also good playing on one of these doors. It's just very good in like this area of the map. So when capping, you can kind of, especially your medic, can just be in this corner. Try and avoid peeking as much as possible until you actually have someone on something. And that's just generally an instinct you should have for TF2. But that's an area that you can expect a lot of snipers. But you have a soldier get through, you can get up onto the height, and like literally you can just bomb through onto the height. If there is someone up there, your scout who's running through next can fight the guy with you. And you just make it like a 2 or 3v1 with your demo. And if there's not someone up there, then you're in a good position to send something like high bomb, and just like also just see everything. But you can appear on the people here with a high bomb and catch anyone who's staying, because you can high bomb. Well, this guy has no clue about it. He's looking down here, and then you have a nuclear bomb bound on him, and he can explode. If they don't have people like watching it from shutter and stuff, so pretty easy as demo to just arc sticks over and block them out. Generally want to take lobby from river, because their demo can trap big door. Going baby door, it's kind of a hassle. You have to run all the way over here and then do this, and then you're in a bad position. And then you have to take this, but you can go baby door if you want to. Like if your combo's like here or something, you can just say, okay, I don't want to climb, let's go baby. But nice to take it from river. You also have high ground on anyone in lobby if you want to fight lobby. Like if someone's overstaying, they're welcome there. But you also have to worry about sniper here. Just have a soldier bomb through, make sure it's being held close before your medic peeks it. Then you're on last. So I'll talk about this ad on their second first. Your med just plays back choke. Your demo has trap shutter, and you can kind of like play out a little bit. Should be fine. They won't be able to peek shutter since your demo has traps there. You can have some soldier hiding or something in one of the spots I mentioned. You can have another one just playing. I'd say above choke is good. Your demo playing here, just playing like, you can spam people there and watch your traps. That's pretty good. Soldier above choke if someone does bomb your medic here, and you can like nuke that guy and your med can just bait. If it's not a high bomb, that guy should just get fucked before he reaches your med. And if it is a high bomb, your med will have enough time to react to start baiting. And so playing out is not like that bad. And you can just provide a lot of spam on them, and then your hider can go on them. You can even set like a fade bomb off your guy here. Just go super high, and then fade back on your own stroke. And you can just like land here, and you're pretty safe to any one river because they can't really see you. Your med can also just like bow you in a straight line. Pretty consistent. You can also do like what I was mentioning. Have someone here, try and play this. Because you can usually just jump away and be fine from these positions. You can also have a hider propane or something, and of course you can always have a hider on last. I think someone big door is a good idea. You can sometimes exploit and just like actually run lobby, like I said, if you have a sense for that, or if you just see that it might be free, and you know that there's not like a trap there that the demo's watching. But you can also just like hide somewhere, and wood is a pretty good place that people sometimes don't check, but if it's been hit by it once, they're gonna check it every time. You can like right here, stand on.
Woo!
So this is it's a pretty good hiding spot, not as much for going to last, but for killing their med, because they'll walk through here and then usually someone will like turn around to see what their team is up to, and so you will get spotted here most likely. But if you just as they're walking through, they're most likely gonna be focused on other things, so you can like go on their med, or just like their demo, whoever's in lobby, whatever. You can jump out of this as any class. This can be good on last as well, so like kind of hide. But sometimes it doesn't get checked when they push out because they think it's like kind of so obvious, but you can get seen. So the best ones are just going to be secret, water, wood. Yeah. And of course spy. Pushing to last. Uneven. I'll tell you the pressure cooker. You have your like a roamer playing river. You have a scout run into water and play water. And that's the basis of your pressure. That's kind of what you're pressuring for. So if they have a scout in water, that means they should have a soldier on ring. Every time there's a scout water, you should have a soldier ring. Remember that. This guy can be spammed. You can have him spammed from here. You can have him spammed mainly from your demo. I think your demo should be playing launchpad. And you should have a pocket soldier like here. And you can have your soldier getting tanked. Your demo playing launchpad shouldn't be taking that much damage. If there's like a soldier on pipe still, playing close on him, this guy should kind of get nuked. Your demo can escort beam a bit if that is happening. And then this guy can just kind of hold this. Make sure you don't explode the traps here. There will very often be traps here. There will also often be traps here. And so be careful. But it's pretty easy to tank a soldier here, since you could just like stand here, and this guy can just like play like this. Should hit every bow. So you can get just a ton of healing out on that guy. And your demo can spam guns, spam players on ring, and just go for what seems obvious. If this guy's oblivious on ring and taking a ton of damage, then just like either he's gonna have to get off the ring. Like if he lands on point, your scout water can fight him, and you call that timing as the demo, or as the roamer. And if he drops off ring and he's like over here getting healed, your scout can just get off water and go onto point. And if they have a lot more resources dedicated to point, then just send the sack. Like get the gun and send the sack. You shouldn't need to bother with point if they're focusing on it so much. Just it should be pretty easy to spam the gun from any number of positions, and then you just send a sack. You get through a doorway that they don't have someone as dedicated to as they should. If you're able to walk through this doorway, you can just like waddle sack, or you can just like jump from here. As pocket soldier, don't be afraid to like leave your med. As long as your med has a brain in their head, they're not gonna run in and explode. They'll see the sack and they'll run away. And if you're able to get through here and sack, especially if you're like unseen, because like their medics over here, it's still really, really, really deadly sack, and it will happen. And so, just keep pressuring from everywhere. That's the idea of a pressure cooker. Is you have all these threats. You have one there, one there, one there, one there. As for Manya and all this, normally I'd say your pocket scout is just like watching lower main, making sure they can't get through, but you can also provide pressure. Like mainly it's just like shooting the guy on ring with your pistol, and trying to deal like 60 damage to him, because it adds up. It's definitely worth doing. But you can also spot their setup quite a bit, and if you're really not being looked at, you can like run through if you want to. I also think sniper is fantastic here, because instead of being able to just pistol this guy, you have a sniper rifle and you blow him up. And you can also peek the players playing next to him if there are people. And especially if you're unspotted and you're just doing it like while the pressure cook is happening, they're probably not going to spot you for a few seconds. Or if they do spot you, it's because they're peeking you. And so you should be able to like get a pick. And this pressure cooker with a pick, I mean, no matter who it is, it's going to be great. If it's a soldier, that means launchpad is going to be super free. Shredder is going to be super free, or they're not going to have someone on ring, in which case point should be pretty free. If it's the demo, point should be pretty free, river should be pretty free. If it's the med, I mean, you guys know the deal. The NG, free gun. If it's the other guy, then whatever he was on, you don't have any. So that's a very good pressure cooker. Once you guys have secured the ad with that pressure cooker, if you're down players and you want to wait for them, just back up into river, have a soldier play close, have this guy being tanked, have your demo watching stutter, and if you have a scout, have them watch baby. If you don't have a scout, then your demo can also watch baby, or frankly, you guys can just start backing up at that point if you're only 3 up, and you can just play like choke. And if they want to try and take second, you can just play add into second rather than add into last. But this is a pretty easy one. I think that if you just have a demo here, a soldier here, a lot of teams won't have the courage to, with full disad, to like actually fully pressure you off all the space that is required for them to then start think about taking second, all before your spawners are up. And so I think you guys should be able to hold this and then just get back in. If their gun is right side, a Uber through shutter is very good. You get the gun for free. You are able to lock out spawn and then go point. If you ever see your scout drop down, just like unflash them. That means he's probably gonna go point, because if he wants to like cross or something, he can do that in a lot of better ways. If he wants to kill someone down here, he will specifically call that for you, but you can just, the earlier you unflash him and he gets to get cap time, the better. Don't feed on point as med. Play height. Play life. Because last pushes fail, no matter how good you are. So, if you manage to live and survive and get out, it can be pretty hard for teams to chase on this map, since they don't have vision on where you're going. And it's hard for a soldier to like jump super fast to you. And people are very worried about leaving that. Water exists, so living can be pretty viable here, but that doesn't mean bait. Yeah, just taking right side, dropping shutter, and then having like a nuclear bomb left while your scouts are capping is good. If you want to Uber through river, I think it's good if they don't have like a pyro close. If they have a pyro close shutter as well, just go through river. But I've never really seen that recently, at least. But Yeah, Uber through river is good. You can immediately go point, and you can like cross into right. If they are on right height, you need to get them off that. But you can often catch them. You can like trap them off and then just do a collapse onto them in here. Since if they are playing right height, that means they're not playing right like spawn. Right for the attacking team. And yeah, going water in Ubers isn't as bad as you might think. If you just have your flank scout always run water, and then sometimes a point will, like, a fight will be happening outside, and it'll seem like the most losing fight ever, but your scout will just get on point, and they'll be too focused on winning the fight outside of point that they'll forget about it, or they'll do, like, everyone will go to it since they all panic, and at that point, you can win like a 4v1 with just a demo man, because he just nukes the people who went back to cap. And so, yeah. Definitely a pretty easy last to push. I don't think people will play water in amateur. I think what I'm having you do is a very unique last hold for amateur. It's a pretty unique last hold in general, but I think it's really good. It's what my team does, and we are successful with it. But it relies on stuff like pyro gun, which is not common in AM, at least last time I checked, and stuff like having a player just go water, which is a kind of weird position to default to, but having it as a default on dispatch. Stuff like that, which normally amateur players are just like playing off vibes, like what feels right. So yeah, be sensible about it. If you trap a door off on a last push, it should be pretty free to nuke the other side. And if they aren't coming out the other side, just go point. Point's like really hard trapped. If there's like a demo on there, like a demo water, like what I have you guys doing, you guys, like that will be the biggest challenge for you, but you can just get a flash. Like just call, Manya, call, let's kill this demo, and then run at the guy, and with beam, and with your Uber, and kill him. And you can also, if you're like really expecting someone there or something, you can just Uber into him and get a free pick. Need I remind you, if you have a free pick, the pressure cooker is liable to just win rounds on fully even fights if you just have one pick. And so, you don't need your Uber to do a ton here if you are smart about it. Just as long as you get one thing and then play the situation from then on, you should be fine. But yeah. I will emphasize on last defense, heavy is very good. So if you see one, try and focus him down or go point. On this map, his weakness is that he can't really go point. He has to stay on height. If he doesn't stay on height, he's going to explode. And if he does stay on height, it means he can't really see point and he can't go to point. He's just focused on the rest of it. And so you can have like your pyro play point if you are the defending team. But I think as heavy, if you just come out like left or right, whatever, and just stay height, keep getting tanked, you will win the fight outside of point. And then if you have a pyro on point, or if you have anyone on point, the fight outside of point will be the only fight happening, because they aren't just going to run at your guy